This video is for you if you love to shuffle dance, but you want to add a little bit more emotion behind it. You want to be able to express yourself more while you are performing the moves that we all know and love on your feet. So we're going to jump right into it and break this down into two different categories. When it comes to emotion and bringing emotion into dance, I like to think of two different things. Number one, thinking and feeling what the song is making you feel. So what I mean by that is, if there's a song playing and it makes you feel happy and hopeful, you can take that emotion and run with it in your shuffle dance freestyle. If the song is a bit more aggressive and it makes you feel powerful, or maybe it evokes a healthy anger within you, you can bring that into your shuffle dance freestyle. So this is a more external way of tapping into emotion based on the music. The second way you can tap into emotion in shuffle dance is actually asking yourself, how am I feeling right now? Maybe you had a hard day. Maybe there are things that are going on in your life that are making you feel sad, or maybe you're feeling excited and you're feeling elated and euphoric. All of these are emotions that we are naturally, organically feeling on a day-to-day basis, and we can also bring those into our shuffle dance, and it completely changes the way that our whole flow looks, even if we're still doing the same things on our feet, right? If we're still just holding it down with our shuffle dance fundamentals. So I'm gonna give you a few examples today. After you've decided which inspiration you're going to pull your emotion from, whether it's the music or just your natural organic emotions, we are going to talk about emotions 101 and body language 101. So I'm going to give you three different examples here, not with shuffling just yet. We'll add it with shuffling in a minute. So if I'm feeling happy, if I'm feeling euphoric, okay, what am I going to do with my body language? Most likely, my chin is going to be lifted, my chest is going to be tall, shoulders back, I'm feeling confident, right? My chest is open. My body language is a lot more free. It can be a lot more loose. I'm not afraid to disconnect my arms from my body, right? I'm feeling very open, very tall, okay? Let's shift gears. If I was feeling maybe sad or I was feeling scared, how would my body language change? First thing I would probably do is I would be looking down. And I know we always say don't look down when you shuffle, but if we're telling an emotional story, that goes out the window and you can do what you want, right? So I'd probably be looking down. My chest would probably be a little concave. Maybe my shoulders would be a little bit hunched. My movements would probably be a little bit more slow and kind of melancholy, if that's how you pronounce that word. We'll have to do a pronunciation check on that later. But overall, I'm gonna feel a little bit more wilted, right? I'm gonna feel wilted, I'm gonna feel a little bit looser, not the same type of loose that I was feeling up here, right? When I was happy or feeling euphoric, I was loose and free flowing, whereas down here, I feel kind of loose. My muscles have sort of hunched over a little bit, okay? Then let's shift gears again. If I was feeling angry or if I was feeling frustrated, immediately when I think of that, I think of my gaze locking in on a focus, okay? Like I have something to prove. I kind of relate this to the feeling of fight or flight. If I was, in a fight, I'm not a fighter, but if I was in a fight, you'd be locked in on your opponent. You wouldn't be shying away. You wouldn't be looking up into the clouds. You would be locked in on the target. So my gaze and my facial expressions would get a lot more serious. My body would become more rigid, right? So if I was angry, we associate anger with clenching the fists a little bit, maybe using elbows. Notice none of these things are actually dance moves just yet. It's literally the emotions that we feel, the natural bodily reactions that we go through, and we can use that to tell a different story in our dancing and layer it over top of our shuffle fundamentals. So I'm gonna give you a full example of that now. For this exercise, and I would love for you to try this on your own after, I'm specifically going to only use Melbourne shuffle fundamentals, mostly running man and T-step. You might see a spin, a slide, a kick come out here or there, but I'm gonna try to keep it really, really basic and really foundational, because you need to see how the way that we're doing our movements based on the emotion that we're feeling completely changes what the footwork looks like, and it completely changes the way that we express ourselves through shuffling, all right? So we are going to start with happy. Now, I'm not going to play this with music today because I'm not interested in running into a bunch of copyright issues on YouTube. So you will be able to see that I'm feeling happy regardless of what music would be playing, okay? So the first thing we think about with happy, we think my chest is tall, my chin is up, I'm feeling very open. My shuffling might look like this, okay? So sinking into soft movements, I'm feeling very open, right? My gaze is soft around the room. I'm moving very fluid through my movements. My chin is tall, etc. All right, let's completely shift gears now. So this time around, I'm gonna have a sad quality to my dancing. And you might be watching this like, why would I wanna feel sad in my dancing? Why would I wanna look sad? Why would I wanna hunch my shoulders over and all these things? And it's because as much as we want to get a cool video and do a cool run and all those things, dance is a form of self-expression first. And I have seen dancers in battles and on stages and doing incredible things by showing the emotions that are less sexy, I guess. You know, happiness looks great and it's beautiful and it's upbeat, but emotions like anger or sadness or frustration or grief, these are emotions that also tell a story and they evoke emotion in other people. That's what dance is about. It's about telling our story without words and having someone else respond to it, okay? So the first thing that I'm gonna do, sorry for that little side tangent, but I think that's really important. First thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lock into the feeling of sadness a little bit. So taking some deep breaths, notice my gaze immediately averted down. My shoulders are actually kind of like coming forward a little bit more. When I think of sad, I think of kind of like, I don't know, my knees wanna be even a little bit more grounded, which is great for shuffling anyway, but now I'm gonna think, you know, how would I do this while I'm shuffling? For me personally, I also like to tell these stories through my facial expressions. So I would probably make facial expressions that showcase a little bit of despair, a little bit of sadness, right? And it completely changes the way my movements are going. Notice even my upper body is changing. My hands instinctually just went to my heart, right? I'm thinking sad, I'm thinking heartbreak. So simply focusing on the emotion of sadness completely changes the way my flow looks. Let's kick it up a notch and change it one more time. All right, this last one, I'm gonna tap into a bit more anger and frustration. And I actually find that this is one that's very commonly used in shuffling, even though people might not know that these are the underlying emotions. And it doesn't mean that every powerful shuffle dancer, every powerful shuffle round is rooted in anger or frustration. There are other motivations to be really powerful as a dancer, but this is one that we'll often see come out in battles, right? I gave the example at the very beginning of we're locking eyes with our opponent or our target. We're really focused and fixated. So this is often where we see that come out, okay? So the first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm sorry that I'm gonna look into your soul right now, even though I'm literally looking at my camera, but I'm gonna lock in. So I'm gonna stare at you and I'm going to bring myself to feel the frustration. So immediately what I'm feeling in my body is my legs are starting to stiffen a little bit. Not in the sense that like my knees are locking and I'm not gonna be able to dance, but I'm actually starting to almost feel more of a connection to the floor with my feet. And I immediately wanna start like clenching my fists. We were talking about that a little bit before. I know automatically my movements are going to be harder, sharper, pointier, if you will. So let's get into it, all right? Usually, obviously if there was music playing, I would kind of take a minute here. To me, anger and frustration comes with like big, heavy breathing as well. Right? Notice that I'm breathing. I'm locked in. I mean that shit. Ha! All right, so I just took you on an emotional journey. I took myself on an emotional journey, and I highly recommend you do this in your own practice as well. You can also pick more nuanced emotions, right? I picked 3 very obvious ones, but there are other feelings that you can tap into that will completely change the way that you are dancing. One other thing that I wanted to say, which is actually pretty cool, at the beginning I mentioned that you can take your music and let that decide your emotion, right? So it's like Sometimes if we hear techno, we think, oh, that's aggressive and big. Okay, let me tap into frustration and anger for that one. But I also think it's really cool to be a paradox. And what I mean by that is dancing to music that would typically ask you to behave in one way and use a completely different emotion over top of it. So maybe you dance flowy and happy and elated to techno. Maybe you have like a groovy house song and you actually use that element of sadness. And this is where dancing gets really creative, and this is where we can pick out who's a storyteller and who's willing to try different things and express in different ways. I personally love doing this, but I also know that it's more of an advanced kind of concept. So take from it what you will. I just wanted to mention that it also is an option for you. If you're someone who sees this and you're like, yes, this is exactly what I need, there are 2 specific things that you need to add into your practice to make this happen. Number 1 is that you have to feel so good and so grounded in your foundational shuffle technique that your brain and body are freed up to focus more on the emotion, to focus more on the music that you're hearing, and to be able to layer that emotion while your body and your feet just move on autopilot. So good technique, foundational technique is number 1. Number 2, you also need to be willing to dig deep here. Emotions are vulnerable, right? But that's also what makes dance and performance so beautiful. And so this includes doing mindset work. This is having a supportive community around you who's also growing in this unique way, right? Not that you're the only one trying to go deep, but everyone around you is just trying to like learn fancy combos. It's really important to be in the same space as other people who are doing something similar to this. You need to self-reflect. You need to be self-aware. These are all the deeper, more soulful aspects of shuffling that are gonna help you use your emotions and be able to pull from the emotions of what you're hearing and add it on top of your shuffle dance. And that's why I have packed all of this inside of my Footwork Blueprint Fundamentals course. This is perfect for beginners who are brand new to shuffling, who need to learn everything from square one, or for shufflers who are more advanced or more intermediate and they want to master both of those things. Technique and foundations, but also having a space to be more connected and to actually go within themselves. There is a mindset channel where you can ask mindset questions on a daily basis. I'm always giving reflection prompts that you can think about how your emotions are already affecting your dancing and then being able to pull that out more, feeling safe to express in a community of like-minded individuals. And on top of all of the course content, you get that whole community. So people are engaged in there and we're all talking about how we can use our emotions to fuel ourselves as dancers so we can be as unique as possible. The dancers who join this program are not only going to be amazing at their shuffle dance and cutting shapes foundations, they're gonna learn transitions, power, unlock flow, being able to put things together in combos, choreography, but also they are going to be the most self-expressed. They are going to be the ones who are connected to their emotions, who are listening to the music and responding, and who are truly putting on a beautiful expression of who they are through their shuffle dance. If this is you, I will drop the link and all the information to the Footwork Blueprint inside of the caption. I'm so excited to see you in there and be able to dive into this so much deeper with you. Remember to follow and subscribe to Shuffle Shred so you can become a more powerful, confident, and unique shuffle dancer, and I'll see you in the next one.